Hey folks, Carla Sands here, putting in a plug for Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthcast.
Relationships matter because people buy people, and that's why I buy Eddie Zarin Insurance of the Zarin Insurance Agency in Pensacola, Florida. A family owned business with over 50 years in the business, and they treat people the right way. From homeowners insurance to contractors insurance, condo insurance, commercial insurance, all the different coverages that are out there, and of course, auto insurance, they've got you covered. They worry about you first. You're more than a policy number. You're a person who they're watching out for, not when the sun is shining, but after the hurricane has left. If you want real service with real savings, contact Eddie Zarin at the Eddie Zarin Insurance Agency. www.zarininsurance.com. Give them a call today. You'll be glad you did when you do.
The Velvet Hammer's on the air.
The Velvet Hammer from Pensacola, Florida, live this morning. We are happy to have you here with us. Gene Valentino, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Always good to be with you. We were talking earlier about starting the show on a few different topics that I was researching, and just moments before airtime, we find how things can pivot so quickly. Tel Aviv has just been attacked again by another round of strikes from Iran. The reporters from Fox and Newsmax and others are going back in for cover. It seems to be a resurgence of what was just, we thought, the unpredictable, precarious situation we find ourselves in determining just how effective we've been in neutering their ability to continue to exist. Small little segments of military operations in Iran still seem to have some capability. Yesterday, an F-35 was attacked over Iran, but the pilot successfully diverted into friendly territory with allies and landed the F-35 safely, $25-30 million aircraft. And that is, they're not reporting exactly, Michael, what the damage is to the aircraft at this time, as I suspect they won't. That aircraft is the most stealthy we've got in the inventory in terms of day-to-day combat. But overall, I'm very pleased with the way things are going. The sirens are going off in Tel Aviv now, so that is indicative of missiles having been launched toward Israel. You know, the majority of these Iranian attacks have been intercepted, but some are still getting through. Hey, who's running Iran? We've decimated all leadership. We've killed the effectiveness of a military operation. We were smart enough to save the oil fields and hopefully find a government that replaces the crazies that have been there running it for 47 years. Today, not one ship goes through the Strait of Hormuz, which is what's driving oil prices up to over $130 a crude oil price per barrel. And this creates opportunities for the people who come in and get out of the market trying to make money off your fear of oil. And it's not what an economic strategy should be, but a lot of people are doing it. And the home front, General Jack Keane doesn't worry about the economy and the oil the way Donald Trump might. So he would like to see the total annihilation of Iran and the regime, the Iranian Guard, the IRGC. But it's the people that must step up now and take control of their country. We have brought it to its knees. The question is, will Iranians, true Iranians, step up and run the country?
Yeah, question for you. The oil business and the oil markets You fool around with the stock market some. Isn't this really just all based on emotion? Because it's not like we can't get oil. I mean, we have it in a lot of other places, including
Yeah,
here in the United States.
no question. In fact, we're a net supplier. We export oil and some gas to the rest of the world because we're fully enriched. We're fully supplied now. And we're doing it because of the incentives that Donald Trump brought back in the United States to produce and service domestically. This is what we always needed. It's driving the Europeans, specifically Russia and China, crazy. But you know, it's their own doing. If there's ever a time that I've been angry with the Europeans, it's right now. How dare they not step up and get behind us, opening up the Strait of Hormuz for them? We've got our own oil. We're not going to be impacted. We'll be impacted indirectly because the oil that's coming out of there supplies nations and business that produce supply chain economic factors to what we produce here in the United States. So there is a ripple effect, not seen immediately today, but it will evolve in the next 6 months to a year if this war continues on this path. That means that Donald Trump has to move even faster at getting more of the companies in the United States up and running again that once were, to be part of what's called the supply chain network here in the United States. I teach a business course at the local college as an adjunct professor, and supply chain economics is everything. It was only 3 or 4 decades ago that the Americans had an attitude, it's our fault. We were suggesting we ship out production and service to other nations to do the menial parse work that we Americans didn't want. It had a little bit to do with our own fault with American labor unions dominating the pricing of supply and demand by influencing other manufacturers and therefore the retail market with their overstated pricing. And it was one of the concerns for early days inflation here in the United States. We've sobered up a little since then, and we're now bringing back businesses into the United States to be the part of the supply chain network that feeds the overall demand here in the States.
Let's talk about something else for a minute. This war started just a few weeks ago. We're talking 20-something days now. They still have the ability, apparently, to launch some missiles. Don't we have the ability through satellites and what have you to see the locations that these missiles are launching from? And are we launching sorties to go and take these out as they do it? I mean, I just know that if we can see the Russians or anybody else, the North Koreans, launch a missile, why can't we go to that site and eliminate that particular site so that it doesn't happen again? I mean, I don't know how. I haven't heard much about this technology and what we're doing about it.
Well, all I can say on that front is I'm privileged to know more about what's going on in the intelligence community than I dare represent on this on this broadcast. But I will tell you, you would be stunned with how smart we are with data and information that we're receiving. You can even read between the lines with National Defense, head of Department of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, discussing and testified in hearings today and yesterday, the day before, about just how much information we have about what Iran is doing. And we need not talk about it in detail because this is the best defense America has against even more formidable foes such as Russia, China, and North Korea. Right. But the fact of the matter is we know more than we're talking about. And I just can't get my arms around the fact that the people who have the most to gain, whether it's the European allies of ours who we defend, or the Iranians in the country of Iran, the people who are being massacred, are not stepping up and now taking back their country. Here we are on the other end of the earth trying to defend everybody, NATO or no NATO. Here we are watching Donald Trump being rebuked the last 2 or 3 days by European allies, saying this isn't our war, we're not getting into it. We didn't need NATO and these treaties or alliances to step up at will to defend them during their time of need. And now during our time of need, they're nowhere to be found. I'm infuriated by that. And I think we're going to have to take, I think Trump is absolutely correct in putting significant tariffs on these people who have kind of scoffed at and laughed at Americans as a bunch of stupid, uncultured people.
Hold on one second. This brings up this is a very good time to talk about this very point about supporting the United States. Now,
yeah,
they didn't even blush when they asked us for billions of dollars to help Ukraine. You see, this is a war that affects them. This is a war that's happening in Europe. And they asked us to help, and we have helped to the tune of billions of dollars and support in a lot of ways. Where are they? This is a good time for President Trump to say, okay, this is not your war. Guess what? Ukraine is not our war. We'll let you handle that. That's what he should do.
Well, he has done. He basically said yesterday, he's getting more bold, if you can believe that, with the president of Japan sitting next to him yesterday at a press conference. He tells some ding-dong in the press, what do you mean I have to, I'm not going to tell you what my plans are and strategy. I need to protect my element of surprise. After you, Mr. Japanese reporter, you should know better than anybody. You surprised us with Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. That is so savage. I mean, I can't believe he did it, but I'm laughing the whole time he said it.
It was embarrassing from a diplomatic point of view in terms of etiquette. But you know what? I don't care about etiquette when people are defecating all over us. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, that's a good answer. So yeah, he put it on the Japanese reporter. You're exactly right. And of course, Japan now has become one of our great allies. You know, you don't want to do something to embarrass them or tick them off. And it seemed that the Japanese prime minister was a little bit uncomfortable with that. But
yes, she was.
Yeah, but I think it's all going to work out because, you know, Donald Trump is a truth teller. He just tells it just like it is with, totally unvarnished. It is just raw. And some people cannot handle that. And in fact, I think that's part of the problem with Trump. That's why people lose their cool with him, is because he speaks the truth.
Well, he not only speaks the truth, but he's tired of the same old, same old. He had to throw a grenade into the barrel, so to speak, to get their attention. He did. And now they're backing off and coming on board. But you know, when someone pulls that stunt on you, you're kind of left with a little bit of a foul taste in your mouth about how you're going to want to relate to that person in the future. And I think it's appropriate America be on guard and more self-protecting of its defenses, its borders, its internal operation in the governances we have, cleaning up the voter registration and voting roll process, getting rid of these Islamic terrorists who are creating another potential 9/11 sleeper cells throughout the nation with 20 million people coming in from the southern border, thank you, Joe Biden, that are now sleeping in your neighborhood and mine, deciding when to strike in the years ahead, is an absolute, it's a crime what they have done to hurt this nation. And there must be consequences for the people who caused this to happen. If certain people in the Biden administration think they get a pass because Mr. Auto Pen Biden gave out pardons to a few hundred people, let me tell you, you won't have to worry about the pardons. The people will be rising up on their own to take care of business.
Yeah. All right. Well, golly, that's it. We're out of time. We hit it just on the mark here. But thank you so much for joining us, Gene. We appreciate your insight every Friday at 7:15, and we'll see you again next week.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Pine Belt. See you again. Relationships matter because people buy people, and that's why I buy Eddie Zarin Insurance of the Zarin Insurance Agency in Pensacola, Florida. A family-owned business with over 50 years in the business, and they treat people the right way. From homeowners insurance to contractors insurance, condo insurance, commercial insurance, all the different coverages that are out there, and of course auto insurance, they've got you covered. They worry about you first. You're more than a policy number. You're a person who they're watching out for, not when the sun is shining, but after the hurricane has left. If you want real service with real savings, contact Eddie Zarin at the Eddie Zarin Insurance Agency. www.zarininsurance.com. Give them a call today. You'll be glad you did when you do.